Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat, and today I am reading 3 Frankenstein retellings. So the first one up is Victor LaValle's Destroyer. So this is a Frankenstein graphic novel retelling, and it was written by Victor LaValle, who is an amazing horror fantasy writer, and it's illustrated by Smythe and Joanna Lafuente. So I am highly anticipating this. I cannot wait to dip into it. I think that the illustration style is wonderful, and I think Victor LaValle is an amazing writer. So my anticipation for this is very high. The second one on my list is The Machine by James Smythe. So this says it is a Frankenstein tale for the 21st century. So we are following Beth, who lives in a remote seaside village with her husband, and her husband came back from war, and there were these new machines where you could put the war and very painful, damaging memories inside the black boxes. However, the government deemed the boxes too dangerous and too controversial, so they recalled them. However, Beth did not return the box, and she is going to put her husband's memories back inside his body, piece by piece. I'm so excited. And the last one that I want to pick up this weekend is Deeplight by Hardinge. This one sounds amazing. It's blurbed as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea times Frankenstein. We're following two 15-year-old boys, one who's dragged down to the deep, and then his friend has to go rescue him. I don't know what the Frankenstein aspect is, but I am so excited to find out. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna pick up is The Machine by James Smythe, because I think that this one might take me the longest. So I will be back with an update very soon. So I am about 2/3 of the way through The Machine by James Smythe. This is much different to how I imagined it based on the synopsis. So it is post-apocalyptic after this huge flood and huge war, and Beth's husband came back from the war and was physically damaged by shrapnel and also had severe PTSD, where he would be violent towards her if he was sleeping or he had a flashback. So they decide to do this treatment with the machine where it will pull out memories of his and replace it with stock memories basically, but it goes terribly wrong. And he has been in an aged care facility, and she has a teaching job which she doesn't really care that much for, but it's just something to get by while she's been saving money to buy one of the machines that has been banned by the government. And she's going to put her husband's memories back in him and see if that will make him her husband again. And it's very unsettling. I really do enjoy the plot. I think it's really fascinating, and I can't wait to see what happens. I'm anticipating it to get much darker. The only criticism I have so far is that this author really loves tell instead of show. There's barely any dialogue, but I can't wait to see what happens. I hope it gets darker. So I'm gonna finish it and then hopefully read something else tonight. But right now we are going to do some chores, and my husband is gonna mow the grass on that side, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the shrubbery on this side. So yeah, we're just gonna do some chores, and I will check back in with you guys later. So this is what I'm gonna try and make for dinner. Hippie hot pot. So we have nutritional yeast, red lentils, canned tomatoes, veggie stock. It says mixed herbs, so oregano, rosemary, thyme, basil. I guess that's what you have in the mixed herbs normally. Pepper, salt, bay leaves, potatoes, onions, carrot. The only thing we don't have is parsnip, but we're just gonna make do. So let's see how it goes. Ready, set. go. Voila, there it is. So this is our first time making it, but it came out, I think it looks really good. But we are actually meal prepping. It's Sunday, so we won't eat it till tomorrow. But I will update you guys, I guess, tomorrow when we eat it. So yeah. Ooh, it looks so good. A very happy Monday to you all. So I just finished the machine this morning and it was really, really good. So what I said before still stands about it being mostly tell, not show. However, in the second half of the novel, more characters appear, so there is naturally more dialogue. So I found myself getting really wrapped up in what was happening, and I really couldn't predict, and I just didn't know, and I really wanted to read it. I would have finished it last night, except that I wanted to go to bed the same time as my husband, and he wanted an early night. So I woke up this morning and I immediately finished it, and it was so good. So this is one of the rare instances where when I originally was reading it, I was like, oh, this will be no higher than a 3. Yet I finished it and I'm like, oh, that's an easy 4. Like, I think the ending erased the slow beginning, if that makes sense. It's definitely not a perfect book in any way, but this was better than I expected, and it ended much, much better than I could have anticipated. In terms of Frankenstein rep, I think it did pretty well. So if we're giving stars for Frankenstein rep, it doesn't follow it exactly, of course, but there is musings on the destruction and rebuilding of bodies and mind, and there are some great lightning scenes. There's a lot of water scenes, and it was just really good. And the musing on monster, and there's also a lot of talk about religion and God versus science. And so I think if I was going to give it Frankies, I would give it maybe 4 Frankies for how well I think it took on the themes of Frankenstein and executed them. I've never heard anyone else talk about this, but I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get started on my next read. And the next one I'm going to be getting to is the next longest, which is Deeplight by Frances Hardinge. I'm going to actually start this outside, because I don't know if you can see, but this is our front yard, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunny day out there. So I think I'm gonna put down a blanket and just read in the shade in our front yard, and I will update you guys later. All right, it is the afternoon now, so we just got back from our neighborhood walk, and honestly, between laying out on the grass and reading and the walk, I am pretty pooped. I'm just gonna chat to you guys about Deeplight while I have my snack. So this is soy milk and a peanut butter Nature Valley bar. So good. So far we've met 2 main characters who are kind of scavenger boys living on this island, and we are in this world where I think about 10-14 years ago, the gods that ruled the land had a huge civil war between themselves, and they basically ripped themselves apart. So there are huge pieces of gods that have drifted down into the ocean, and within the ocean there are 2 layers. So there's the layer that like most normal human boats go on, and then there is kind of this abyssal godly layer called deep sea, I think is what it's called, and that is where the ruins of the gods live, and different expeditions go down there and pull apart pieces of the gods to sell, and those pieces are called godware. And you know that if people work with godware long enough, they get special marks, such as the irises of their eyes change color, or they get marks on their skin, and it's just really fascinating. So as the book opens, one of those expeditions is coming back, and one of the 2 main boys is kind of fleecing this businessman for a good seat to watch the expedition come back. And the other boy runs up to him and is like, hey, we have to do something right now. We have a job. And the job turns out to be something really illegal. And the first boy ends up getting caught by the police. And then he is sold at a public auction for 3 years of indentured labor. And that is how he gets moved to another island. And he is there as a spy trying to gather information on what really lies in the depths and more about the gods, because on the island it is kind of a rehabilitation center for ex-priests who know all the secrets, but they're not allowed to talk about it. So that's where we are currently. We're not yet to the part where like the blurb says one boy is lost to the deep and the other one has to go get him. I'm also not sure about any ties to Frankenstein yet, and I'm at 20%. So I will let you know more as they go along, but right now I'm not seeing the connection. I definitely see the 20 Leagues Under the Sea connection, and I'm really enjoying this book for the ocean themes. There are divers, there are submersibles, there are submarines, there are one-manned bathyspheres, which are like old school globes that people would sit in, and then a hydraulic lift would like put you down and lift you up. And I mean, there's ruins of gods waiting to be discovered on the ocean floor. So I'm very excited about the ocean themes. 20% of the way through Deeplight. I'm gonna read more of this because it is such perfect reading weather, but I think I've had enough sun. I might get sunburned. So I'm gonna read it inside. And yeah, I hope that you guys are having a great reading time also. I hope there's Frankenstein themes, but if there's no Frankies to be had, at least this will be a great ocean book. So I will check back in with you guys later. So now I'm about 60% of the way through, and I don't really know what to think about this book. For a book that is so much themed around the ocean and old ocean gods, there's surprisingly not that much under the sea action. Sure, people go in a submarine a few times, or they go in a bathysphere, which was really cool, but just for like a little bit, and most of the action is on land, which I think is like a missed opportunity. I would have loved to see more things underwater. And the only other thing I have to say right now is that it is dragging for me. I'm struggling a little because I thought that this was going to be where the boys are best friends and one gets ill and the other one has to save him. But what it actually is about the most toxic friendship ever. And I just want to shake the main character and be like, just let your friend go. Like, cut your losses, cut that bad friend out of your life. Just like, be done with him. So I didn't really want to read a toxic friendship. So I'm not having a great time right now. I'm really not. But we're about to go on our daily walk and I'm gonna listen to more of The Hole, which I listened to yesterday. So I will check back in with you later and hopefully I will be more into Deeplight. So it is Wednesday afternoon and I finished Deeplight this morning and I don't really know how to feel about it. So there were really great ocean elements, specifically with all types of sea craft. One of the best elements of the book was that there's this thing called sea kissed, and that means mostly that people have burst their eardrums and they can't hear. So a lot of the people in this world that are known as sea kissed are thought to be very great, like ocean explorers, and they're kind of given a lot of respect. And because of that, a lot of people in this world know sign language and they can speak both out loud and through sign language, and that becomes crucial to the plot many times, where they are trying not to be seen or they are in a place where they couldn't speak because it's so loud. And I just thought that was really great. And when I finished the book, I read the author's acknowledgement, and it said the idea for the book came from one of her young readers who asked if she would ever create a deaf character. So I think that that's absolutely amazing that all of those characters, and especially one of the main characters, is deaf, and that she had not only that young reader, but also a wide array of deaf people within the community as beta readers, and she extensively researched the rep in the book. So I just thought that was really great. Some of the things though that weren't so great was that at some parts the plot seemed really slow, even though a lot was happening. I don't know how to explain it really, other than that I don't think the character building was that good, so I didn't feel connected even if the characters were going through really extreme changes or having really exciting battles or chase scenes. I was kind of removed from it, if that makes sense. So overall, I give it 3.5 stars as a book. And in terms of Frankenstein retelling accuracy, I suppose, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 stars out of 5. So it gets 4 Frankies, because there are 2 different situations where there is talk of changing a body beyond death and whether science should do that. And there are people who praise that as a god, and there are people who think it's an abomination. So if you have ever read Frankenstein, you would know that there are parts of the book where both Victor Frankenstein and the monster chase each other across ice. So in this world, there's no ice per se, but they do chase each other over the ocean and under it. So I thought that it was quite good as a Frankenstein retelling, and yeah, I'm really excited to read my last one for this mini burst, which is Victor LaValle's Destroyer. So I'm gonna get into it right now. I think I have about an hour and a half before we have to go do a whole bunch of errands, and I'm really hoping to finish it during that time. So wish me luck, and I will be right back. Okay, so a lot has happened in the first chapter alone. So the monster has been left alone for 200 years when he jumps off an iceberg in Antarctica to go play with a whale and its calf, when the Japanese whaling ship known as the Nishin Maru, which is real, that's a real ship, like shots fired, that real ship, is the primary whale killer down in the Antarctic. And so it spears the mother and the calf and kills them, and the monster goes ballistic, murders all the crew, and then he sees a boat next to it and swims to it thinking that they are dangerous as well. And when he climbs on board, I think that they are supposed to be like Sea Shepherd-y type crew, and there's a woman on board who explains that they were trying to stop the killing of the whales, and she's educating him on what he's missed in the last 200 years when he sees a video from one of the descendants of Victor Frankenstein, who is still conducting lab work on bringing people back to life. And again, he slaughters everyone on board and drives the ship aground while he jumps overboard and is making his way to the lab. Now on the other side, the lab, there are 2 agents of NOAA. They are driving a very like high-tech car, and their code names are George Byron and Percy Shelley are the 2 agents that are looking for Dr. Frankenstein. And Dr. Frankenstein happens to be a badass black woman who had lost her son. So she is trying to recreate her son, and that is where we currently are. And I am having a fabulous time. I cannot wait to find out what happens. I really can't tell you much more than that, I think, because I don't want to spoil anything, but I cannot wait for the 2 of them to meet and see what will happen. Already, the art style is just so fabulous. I am in love. My wallet is crying because I need to buy the rest of these. So I just finished Destroyer, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was really good. And in terms of Frankies that I'm gonna give it 5 Frankies, because it more closely follows the original story, where the descendants of Victor Frankenstein is like the mad doctor who is trying to rebuild with some of the scientific method from the original Victor Frankenstein and modern day nanobots. But beyond that, the reason that it gets 4 stars is because it also talks about police brutality and being Black in America, and also being a woman and the angry Black woman stereotype. And I really appreciated it. I really liked a lot of the commentary that was in here, and I think that I really want to read the next ones. So this is what the cover designs look like for issue 2 and issue 3. And then there's also 4 and 5. Is that it? And the last one I think is 6, which is this one. So yeah, the art is just so beautiful, and I really recommend this. If you're looking for like a modern day setting Frankenstein retelling that features Black people at the heart of the narrative. So this one was really good. So that wraps up the mini burst. I had a very wide range of reads. Thank you so much for watching till now. I hope that you're having a fab day, and I will talk to you guys down below in the comments.